wake him if they don't shut up.
What are they shouting about? Nothing else could have happened, can it?
I am the Minister of Magic. This is a ministry problem.
That's Fudge's voice.
It is not your place. It is Dumbledore's place for him to decide what happens.
And that's Minerva McGonagall's, isn't it? But what are they fighting about?
Regrettable, but all the same Minerva. You should have never brought it inside the castle. When Dumbledore finds out. Where is Dumbledore?
He's not here. This is a hospital wing. Minister, don't you think you'd do better to... What has happened? Why are you disturbing these people? Minerva, I am surprised at you. I told you to stand guard over Barty Crouch Jr.
Oh, there is no need to stand guard over him anymore, Dumbledore. The minister has seen to that. When we told Mr. Fudge that we caught the Death Eater responsible for tonight's events, he seemed to feel that his personal safety was in question. So he insisted on summoning a Dementor to accompany him to the castle. When that thing entered the office where Crouch... I told him you would not agree, Dumbledore. I told him you would not allow Dementors inside the castle, but... My dear woman, as Minister for Magic, it is my decision whether I wish to bring protection with me when interviewing a possibly dangerous... The moment that thing entered the room, it swooped down on Crouch and...
Harry felt a chill in his stomach as Professor McGonagall struggled to find the words to describe what had happened. He did not need her to finish her sentence. He knew what the Dementor must have done. It administered its fatal kiss to Barty Crouch Jr.
Pucker up, Buttercup.
It had sucked his soul out through his mouth. He was worse than dead.
By all accounts, he is no loss. It seems he is responsible for several deaths. But he cannot now give testimony, Cornelius. He can't give evidence about why he killed those people. Why he killed them? Well, that's no mystery, is it? He was a raving lunatic. From what Minerva and Severus have told me, he seems to have thought he was doing it under you-know-whose instructions. Lord Voldemort was giving him instruction, Cornelius. Those people's deaths were a mere byproduct of a plan to restore him to full power. The plan succeeded. Lord Voldemort has been restored to his body. You know who? Returned? Preposterous. Come now, Dumbledore. As Severus and Minerva doubtlessly have told you, we heard Barty Crouch Jr. confess. Under the influence of Veritaserum, we heard how he was smuggled out of Azkaban, and how Voldemort, learning of his continued existence from Bertha Jorkins, went to set him free from his father and used him to capture Harry. The plan worked, I tell you. Crouch has helped Voldemort return to full power. See here, Dumbledore. You really can't believe you-know-who is back? Come on, certainly. Crouch may have believed he was working under you-know-whose orders, but to believe the word of a lunatic like that? Dumbledore! When Harry touched the Triwizard Cup, he was transported straight to Voldemort. He witnessed Lord Voldemort's rebirth. I will explain everything to you if you will step into my office. I'm afraid I cannot permit you to question Harry tonight. And you are prepared to take Harry's word on this, Dumbledore? Certainly, I believe Harry. I heard Crouch's confession, and I heard Harry speak about what happened after he touched the Triwizard Cup. The two stories make sense. They account for everything that happened since Bertha Jorkins disappeared last summer. You are prepared to believe that Lord Voldemort has returned on the word of a lunatic murderer and a boy who... Well, you've been reading Rita Skeeter, Mr. Fudge? Oh my. And if I have, if I've discovered you've been keeping certain facts about the boy very quiet. A parcel mouth? Having funny turns all over the place? I assume you are referring to the pains Harry has been experiencing in his scar.
You admit he's been having these pains then? Nightmares? Headaches? Possibly hallucinations?
Listen to me, Cornelius. Harry is as sane as you or I. That scar on his forehead has not addled his brains. I believe it hurts him when Lord Voldemort is close by or feeling particularly murderous.
You'll forgive me, Dumbledore. I've never heard of a cursed scar acting as an alarm bell before. Look, I saw Voldemort come back. Oh no. I saw Death Eaters. I can give you their names. Lucius Malfoy?
Malfoy was cleared. Very old family. Donations to excellent causes.
McNair. Also cleared. Now working for the Ministry. Avery, Knott, Crabbe, Goyle. You are merely repeating the names of those who were acquitted of being Death Eaters 13 years ago. You could have found those names in an old report of the trial. For heaven's sake, Dumbledore. The boy was full of some crackpot story last year too, and his tales are getting taller and taller, and you are still swallowing them. The boy can speak to snakes. Dumbledore, do you really think he's still trustworthy? You fool. Cedric Diggory, Mr. Crouch, these deaths were not the random work of a lunatic. I see no evidence to the contrary. It seems to me that you are all determined to start a panic that will destabilize everything we have worked so hard to build these past 13 years. Voldemort has returned. If you accept that fact straight away, Fudge, you can take the necessary measures and save the whole situation. The first and most essential step is to remove the control of Azkaban away from the Dementors. Preposterous! Remove the Dementors? I'd be kicked out of office for just suggesting it. Half of us only feel safe in our beds at night knowing the Dementors are standing guard at Azkaban. The rest of us sleep soundly in our beds, Cornelius, knowing that you have put away Lord Voldemort's most dangerous supporters in the hands of creatures that will join him as soon as he asks. They will not remain loyal to you, Fudge. Lord Voldemort can offer them much more scope of their powers and their pleasures than you can. With the Dementors behind him and his old supporters returned to him, you will be hard-pressed to stop him from regaining the sort of power he had 13 years ago. The second step you must take, and at once, is to send an envoy to the Giants. Envoy to the Giants? What madness is this? Extend the hand of friendship now before it's too late, or Lord Voldemort will, as he did before, persuade them that he alone will give them their rights and their freedoms. You cannot be serious. If the magical community got wind that I approached giants, people hate them, Dumbledore. End of my career. You are blinded by the love you hold for your office, Cornelius, and you hold too much importance, as you always have, on the so-called purity of blood. You fail to recognize it matters not what a person is born, but what they choose to be. Your Dementor just ended the last remaining member of a pure-blood family as old as any. And look what that man chose to make of his life. Take the steps I have suggested now, and you will be remembered, in office and not, as one of the bravest and greatest ministers of magic we have ever known. Fail to act, Cornelius, and history will remember you as the man who stepped aside and allowed Voldemort a second chance to destroy that world we worked so hard to build. Insane. Mad. If your determination to shut your eyes has carried you this far, Cornelius, we have reached a parting of the ways. You must act as you see fit,
And I shall act as I see fit. Now see here, Dumbledore. I've given you free rein always. I've had a lot of respect for you. I might not have agreed with some of your decisions, but I've kept quiet. There are many who'd have let you hire a werewolf, or keep Hagrid, or decide what to teach your students without reference to the Ministry. But if you're gonna work against me, the only one against I intend to work is Lord Voldemort. If you are against him, then Cornelius, we are on the same side. He can't be back, Dumbledore. He just can't be. There, the dark mark. Oh dear Lord, have mercy. It's not as clear as it was an hour ago when it burned black, but you can still see it. Every Death Eater had this mark burned into his arm by the Dark Lord. It's a means of distinguishing one another, and for him to summon us. When he touched the dark mark of any Death Eater, we were to disapparate and apparate instantly by his side. It's been growing clearer all year. Karkaroff's too. Why do you think Karkaroff fled tonight? We both felt the mark burn. We both know he had returned. Karkaroff fears the Dark Lord's vengeance too much. He betrayed too many Death Eaters to ensure a welcome back into the fold. I don't know what you and your staff are playing at, Dumbledore, but I have heard enough. I have no more to add. I will be in touch with you tomorrow, Dumbledore, to discuss the running of this school. I must return to the Ministry. Your winnings. 1,000 galleons. There should have been a presentation ceremony, but under the circumstances... There's work to be done. Molly, am I right in assuming I can rely on you and Arthur? Of course you can. We know what Fudge is. It's Arthur's fondness for muggles that has held him back at the Ministry all these years. Fudge thinks he lacks proper wizarding pride. I need to get a message to Arthur. All those at the Ministry who we can persuade of the truth must be notified immediately. He is well placed to contact those who are not as short-sighted as Cornelius. I'll go to Dad. I'll go right now. Excellent. Tell him what happened. Tell him I will be in direct contact with him shortly, but he will have to be discreet. If Fudge thinks I'm going to start interfering at the Ministry, leave it to me. Minerva, I need Hagrid in my office as quickly as possible, and, if she will consent, Madame Maxime. Poppy, would you be very kind as to go down to Professor Moody's office? There you will find a house elf named Winky in considerable distress. Do what you can for her, and then take her down to the kitchen. I believe Dobby will look after her. Very well. And now, it is time for two of our number to recognize each other for what they really are. Sirius, if you will resume your human form. Hey, guys. Sirius Black! Mom, shut up! Did you not see the last movie? It's okay now. Him? What's he doing here? He is here at my invitation, as are you. Severus, I trust you both. It is time for you two to lay down your old differences and trust each other. I will settle, in the short term, for a lack of open hostility. You both are on the same side now. You will shake hands. Time is short, and unless the few of us who know the truth stand united, there is no hope for any of us. Shake hands. That will do to be going on with. Now I have tasks for both of you. Fudge's attitude, though not unexpected, does change everything. Sirius, I need you to set off at once. You are to alert Remus Lupin, Arabella Fig, Mundungus Fletcher, the old crowd. Lilo at Lupin's, I will contact you there.
But
You'll see me very soon, Harry, I promise. But I must do what I can. You understand, don't you?
yeah, of course I do.
Severus, you know what I must ask of you. If you are ready, if you are prepared, I am, then good luck. I must go downstairs. I have to see the Diggories. Harry, take the rest of your potion, and I will see you all later. You've got to take the rest of your potion, Harry. You'll have a good long sleep. Try and think about something else for a while. Think about what you're going to buy with all your winning. I don't want that gold. You have it. Anyone can have it. I shouldn't have won it. It should have been Cedric's. It wasn't your fault.
But I told him to take the cup with me.
Your potion, Harry.